Hello guys, this is Mia from the Sibyl's Tarot. Welcome one more time to my channel and to 31 Days of Tarot by Ethony. Today is day 12 and I am so very excited about today because this is my prompt, the one about the imposter syndrome. And well, first of all, thank you very much, Ethony, for including my prompt into the 31 Days of Tarot challenge. I am so very excited, and I was fangirling very hard when I saw it. And also, I am very excited to see what all of you have to say about this, because this is a topic that I have been fighting against for a few months, and actually I had a crisis this year, and it took me a while to recover, and it took me a while to regain my confidence. And I think that it is important to speak about this because this video is probably going to be more personal than anything else. But I think that as readers, we are all susceptible of suffering this kind of crisis, because it is a profession that sometimes requires external validation, is to say, to a point you know if you are a good reader, you know if you know your craft, know your thing, and know what you are doing, you know if you have studied, you know if you are attuned or not. But at the end of the day, this is one of the professions that require some sort of external validation, because it is like being a writer, and you can say, okay, I am a writer, but if you are a good writer, it is something that others tell you, not that you tell about yourself, if I make any sense. So whatever. Thing is, probably as readers, we are all susceptible of having one of these crises, and well, I really wanted to know what your experiences have been and how you have overcome this sort of situations or this sort of circumstances. And well, now I'm going to share a bit of this crisis, of this story, and how I've managed to get out, and some of the tools that I used, or some of the ideas that I put into practice to get this done. And well, my story, or this whole crisis, didn't really have a root, or there was not a day that I said, oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing, or it was not about client, about reading, about review. It wasn't anything like that. I just suddenly started really second guessing everything, and started feeling really uncomfortable reading. And at first it was like, okay, it should be today, I am having a weird day, and I didn't I just say, okay, so today you are not working, and that's the end of it, and you will go back to this tomorrow. So at first I didn't really give it a lot of importance, and then days followed, and I was still second guessing myself, and I was still feeling really uncomfortable reading. And I was like, are you sure that this is what you think this is? And I was having, I took a couple of clients, and I was all the time like, is this making sense to you? Is this working for you? And I was like very insecure. And actually, I was receiving great feedback from those clients, but for some reason I didn't really believe that I was doing it right. And thing is, I didn't really know what to think. I don't know if it was a sort of spiritual crisis, or if it had to do with something else. I don't really know, but all of a sudden I felt really uncomfortable doing what I do. and we have days where we rock it, and we have days when we don't rock it so much. But at the end of the day, when you have been doing a thing for years and years and years and years, you have a certain level of comfort with it. And all in a sudden, I was like, I don't know what I am doing. And I don't know, I felt like really at a loss, and really, this is the word, like imposter, because I was like, I'm not sure I actually know what I'm talking about. And it is not something that, I mean, it is not something that one feels comfortable thinking about, or it is not something that you want to really stop and consider. And then when I did stop and consider, and I talked to friends about this, and I even talked to long-term clients about this, and I said like, hey, listen or hear me out. I don't, right now, I don't feel like I'm doing this right, or no, but talking to people helped me realize that from a more objective, external at least, perspective, I didn't have to be worried. And then I also shared this with some other readers, and said, hey, I'm feeling like this, what do you do? And I found out that, as a matter of fact, lots of readers feel like this at one point or another, and it was like, hey, take your time. And when I decided to actually take my time, things started to change, because I had tried to do like shock therapy, like, okay, you know what, you're not comfortable, so what you are going to do is just getting as many clients as you can. And I was like shaking before every reading, and I was like so very, very uncomfortable before every reading, during every reading, after every reading. And it wasn't until I actually took some time to say, okay, I am not saying that you have to quit or that you have to leave this, but it is clear that the tough love approach is not working for you. So just take a step back and reconsider what you're doing, and don't try to force it. Don't try to make it work no matter the cost, and just stay calm, dedicate some time to yourself. And I did. I decided that I was going to just take a few weeks for myself, and mm, just not try to force the whole thing. And I remember that when this happened, and something that really helped me, well, something that helped me was reading lots of reviews that I have from different sites and places and clients I have worked with for, and who have been happy. And I was like, okay, so Maria, things if not things like if you have been able to do this professionally for 4 years already, after all the years that you have spent learning and perfecting your reading style, and it has worked for people, and you have been able to make this happen for you, then why? And I couldn't really answer myself, but I was still so insecure. And something that I think was really a key for me was I had I received in a matter of 2-3 weeks. I received 2 emails from 2 different clients who back in the day hadn't been really happy with the readings, and they had been clients from long time ago. And I received those emails, and I was really grateful to get them, because I think that they got to me in a really good moment. And they said like, hey, you know what, at the time where we had our reading, I didn't feel that you knew what you were doing. I didn't feel that you were right or I didn't feel that the reading had been of use. But time has gone by and things have been exactly how you said they would be. And I am sorry because I wasn't really easy to work with. And I was like, wow, I was really thankful, first of all, because it takes courage to admit when we are wrong. And it tells me a lot about a person when someone that is not in their best behavior, but then they realize and they come back and they say, hey, I'm sorry. And this tells me that someone is grand and someone is a good person, and the kind of person that you want to have around when you can say, hey, I'm sorry, I screwed up. That's the end of it, and it's not the end of the world. This is something that I appreciate dearly in my heart. And first of all that, and second, that I was like, okay, so even people who weren't really happy have come back and have told me, hey, you were right. And the fact that it came in that moment of doubt and in that moment of insecurity meant a lot to me, because it allowed me to look at it from a different perspective, and as well it made me feel really, really great. And I think this was somehow key. And also something that I've done is I have a panic of speaking in English over the phone. And can I say why? I can speak English face to face. I can write in English. I can send the audio notes in English. I am recording this very video in English, but I have a panic when it comes to speaking over the phone, and I don't really know why. And even it doesn't happen if it is camera, but I cannot just speak over the phone. It's like my English flies and says goodbye and abandons me. I don't know, but it happens. If I am on the phone, I forget my English, and I was working for I am working for a phone line, and I was just unable to do it. And little by little, I just managed to be a bit more confident. I did my best to speak over the phone with English-speaking friends to try and get rid of my stupid fear. And it seems to be working. And actually, I'm trying to really get rid of the whole phone thing. And this is the part that is costing me more. But this is something that has always been with me, and I don't think that is related to imposter syndrome. It is just related to me being an idiot. But that's not a problem. Well, it's a problem for me, but I mean in general. And I am really trying to work with that. But going back to the whole imposter syndrome thing. I was talking about the whole phone thing. And the thing is, what I wanted to say is, taking little proactive steps towards feeling more secure is often better than trying to do a shock therapy, because it is going, or at least in my case, it only made me freeze more and more. And as well, finding a supportive network and of your friends, of readers. Talk to other readers, because this happens to many, many, many of us at one point or another. And talk to fellow readers about this. And don't be ashamed, because this is an unregulated profession. And there are times when it is difficult to know if you are doing a good thing, if you are not. And also, it doesn't even have to have a rational origin. I mean, fear is fear, and imposter syndrome at the end of the day is just a different sort of fear. And Now that said, fear, Venerable Wen has made a wonderful spread about imposter syndrome. And if you are following her on Facebook, she uploaded a wonderful spread that she has created for this topic, and that I am going to try very, very soon. And Venerable Wen spread imposters. Yeah, network. So sorry, train of thought. So just find the other readers that can let you know that it's okay, because there are some times where you just want to know that what you are happening is normal happening, and that things will be alright, and this is what we need, and that's about sometimes. So I have rambled a lot today, and I don't know if I have, or this has made a lot of sense to you. It has been more personal sharing than anything else. But what I can say is thank you very much for watching again. Thank you very much for subscribing or following or whatever you're doing here, if you leave a comment or whatever. And as well, I am so looking forward to seeing what you have to say on this topic. And thank you very much, Ethony, again for picking this topic for 31 Days of Tarot. I'm really thrilled to to have been chosen, and that's it. So thank you very much again. I'm repeating myself now, so I'm just going to shut up. Have a great day.